Morocco, we know people firsthand, Nyama and Taiwan, in this earthquake. We're going to let you hear what they're saying now. They've released their message. And like I've said in the past, I know them because I've done RF shielding with them, with their company. So they were in direct line hit of this situation. And what we're going to do, though, we're going to give you video about what they're saying, and then we're going to go look into some strange anomalies and then people who actually predicted some of this stuff before it even happened. So check this out.
Hi everyone, this is Hope and Tavon, and we are coming to you with this recording from Marrakesh, Morocco, outside of Marrakesh, Morocco. Last night there was a 6.8, some say 7-point earthquake here where we live. So we figured we would make this recording and put it out on our networks to let everybody know that we are okay. Our house and our pets and our family, we are okay. We can't say that for everybody in Marrakesh, though. There was a lot of buildings, old buildings, collapsed in the Medina.
Yeah.
In the city of Marrakesh. We're part of, we have a community here, so I've been checking in with our community. Like, we have social groups that we're part of and our church and everything, and everybody is pulling together to try to help those that have been injured. A lot of people were also injured.
First, I also want to say that please show, keep Marrakesh and Morocco, the people of Morocco, and around the world who are also suffering through calamities, keep them in your prayers, because this came suddenly.
Yes.
It really did just out of nowhere. We're doing what everyone else does on an evening, towards the weekend, where we're watching a movie, and then all of a sudden it just happened.
Yeah, we were watching a movie in our living room, and the house started vibrating and shaking. It was very strong, very powerful.
Yeah. And
the other thing too is that we do not live on a fault line.
No.
There has not been an earthquake in Marrakesh
in recent recorded history.
Like ever. Like this is not an earthquake zone. So yes. We're looking into what might have caused the earthquake. Now we're hearing that the epicenter of the earthquake was about 40-50 miles from us.
Yes, that's our electricity coming on as we're doing this.
Hopefully it'll stay on because we've been out of power for quite some time now.
Now, for those who might be more familiar with the region, the epicenter was between Marrakesh and Agadir. Agadir is a coastal, western coastal beach town, resort area, and Marrakesh is more towards the more northeast, and is more towards the desert. So it was literally in the middle of those two places, and it's also in the middle of what looks like a mountain range. Going into the Atlas Mountains.
Yeah.
So it's like actually inside, the epicenter was inside a mountain.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting.
So for those who follow earthquakes, that might be some information that you might find very interesting. It's very interesting. Marrakesh is about a 9-hour drive from the north of Morocco, which goes across the Strait of, then the northern tip. You have the Strait of Gibraltar, and then into Spain, which there is a fault line there.
Yeah, but that's 9 hours.
9 hours away. North of us.
So definitely, that was people I directly knowing this, but we got to get down to something deeper that was heard and saw. We're gonna look into the anomalies here, because there was other people saying that they heard this war zone like sound, and this was supposed to be some sound that some people reported hearing during this situation. They say they have described war zone-esque noise, confusion, and terror at the moment, a rare 7.2 earthquake. So I don't know what this noise was 100%, but we want to look in the atmosphere, because it's videos of stuff being showed in the atmosphere. Kind of like when I showed you Maui and they had something in the atmosphere. This video came out right here. We want to show this real quick. And they say this was before the earthquake happened. They seen about 1, 2, let's see. It's gonna go back over there. It's got a couple dots in the sky. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them was just sitting there. and the person zooms in, looks at them, and I don't know if they're aircraft, I don't know if they're drones, I don't know what it is, but they're sitting there assembled in place and just not having any movement at all. So the other thing is that was seen in Morocco. Now, if you go to Spain, there was another video released as well with the same exact type of objects kind of just assimilating over the atmosphere, kind of hovering. Now, I'm going to have to confirm this if I can see if Tyvon and Nyama seen this, or maybe they didn't. They were inside the house, they said, and they were just listening, you know, watching a movie. So they didn't know anything at the time, but they probably didn't see this footage. But this is coming directly from the ground, literally during these events. So the other one was before, and then that was seen in Spain, like I just said. Now the other things that's really, you know, out of the norm, that this one guy, he came out, he seen a magnetic spike. He was a researcher. He caught it 3 days before. And then there was another guy who caught the same thing, and he said he was an independent researcher. It says, led by the god of war, incoming energy from critical planetary geometry forecasts. And that was September 8 when he put that out. So it was a magnetic spike that was already seen by these people who predicted this. But I don't know why he said the god of war was going to be basically coming as an energy wave. I don't get what he meant by that. Maybe there's some more esoteric significance to that. But the other deeper aspect we looked into, because you know how the fires is going on everywhere. My woman, she was like showing, she was like, did you see the coloring of some of the houses? Not all of them in Morocco is that color, but even on the photo, it shows a lot of it is the color of the royal looking blue. So I was thinking in my head, well, they couldn't hit them with the dew, so maybe it was a sequence of an earthquake. That was the only other sequence, and it came from Atlas Mountains. It wasn't even the epicenter. It wasn't even on the fault line where it hit. And that death toll is up to 2,000 now. So we want to ask for much prayers out there, much help. And eventually, we're going to try to see if we can get them to come on for more of this story about the whole situation, so we can get a further breakdown and answering some of these questions that we got here. The last thing they sent me was an email. This is what they said was going on. I'll show you the email. Basically, it said, truly our house was guarded by angels during what was one of the scariest things we've ever experienced. Many of the old buildings in Medina have collapsed. Some of them were businesses of our friends. Of ours, entire village in the mountains have been leveled and thousands of people have died, including 2 children. We know whose house collapsed on them. We are in tears and doing what we can to help our loved ones, to bury the dead. The King of Morocco has declared 3 days of mourning. We are still assessing the damage and feel that it may take years to fully recover. So yeah, I reached out to him yesterday as soon as I heard about this, earthquake, because I feel like during this moment of all the fires and this, don't you think we should become a tighter community? Don't you think we should be able to coordinate and talk together? Don't you think that all this destruction is going to have to create a stronger bond as far as, hey, let's stand up for freedom together. Let's not let people just be like anything. Like I said, if they need help or anything, we can get them live on here. And if people need to help them out and we need to send money that way, that's what we need to direct it towards. But in the next coming days, I'll see if they can do that, because they're busy right now. But I just wanted to get the first line report out that they had put out. And I told you in September it was simulations and lots of stuff happening. And you really don't want to miss what I put out here, talking about really the critical aspects of what's coming next. But please share this report far and wide and let people hear real survivor story.